And good morning and welcome to the Texas Real Estate Show. Howdy in Texas. And this is where you find all the information that you need to know about real estate in Texas or even around the country and just general trends that may happen and such like. My name's Steve Williams. Please like, subscribe, send the emojis out. Any comments you've got, please post them in our chat. But what we'd like to do is to hear from you, and I'm here with my very, very, very good friend today, Mr. James Lee.
Well, it's not morning anymore. It's a good afternoon.
It's just turned the
It
afternoon.
is. It is good afternoon.
And as the country enjoy all the snow, we enjoy the heat. What is it, 82 out there today?
Man,
It's
you
a
know,
beautiful day.
my wife this morning, she went to the restroom and, she always
She has to go
asks
to the restroom?
Alexa, hey, Alexa, what's the temperature outside? And it's at 44 this morning. And when I told her, I said, well, don't go off of that because it's supposed to be a little warm today. So, crazy thing is, it is supposed to be
It's
warm
beautiful
today.
day out there.
It is.
Absolutely beautiful.
It is. It is. Feels good. Looks good. But the rain is supposed to be coming the next day or so. So we'll see
Oh, the rain can
what
stay
happens.
away. The rain can stay away. We don't want that.
We've got enough of rain
We
here
are.
lately.
So basically, this is where we sort of find out and just get some feelings. We are not giving anybody any financial advice, or what basically we're doing is just talking about real estate with the trends. If the housing market is going to go up, down, sideways, tumble, somersault, or whatever. But we just want to sort of talk about that. We've got our own feelings on that. So we do have some topics this morning, and the first topic that we're going to talk about is that there's some people that share so investors can make the most of the basically of the current value of the properties. 2002 was the year for the Fed created the biggest renter boom in America's history. Grant Cardone shares how investors can make the most of this market. You want to just scroll down just a little bit over there. And it says, according to Grant Cardone, who is a real estate coaching and mentor and pretty well known in the industry, with Fed rates raising rates, it has sidelined home buyers, which means that prices are pulling back. What he's basically saying is that rents are going up, and this is one of the reasons why they're pulling up, because renters, it's a bit of a catch-22 situation, isn't it, James? Landlords, homeowners, we're caught in a bit of a trap. I feel like singing, we're caught in a trap, can't look back. Basically, we have to pass that cost on, and unfortunately, we have to pass it on to landlords. And there's some landlords we've managed, because we manage a lot of properties, and some of them landlords have put their rents up $200, $300 a month, which is killing some people. We, as landlords, we try to be, my own properties, I try to be a responsible landlord. And we only, most we will go up is maybe 5%.
Yeah.
That even then it's $50 a year or $100 a year on some of the properties. So what's your feeling on that, James?
Well, I mean, it's one of those situations where it was bound to happen, but of course, everybody's feeling it a little bit quicker than what we anticipated, and many folks are capitalizing on it.
Do you know what?
You got to pass
I
that
feel
on.
this hits more than anybody else, though. I feel it hits bad landlords, all right, and in other words, landlords that have not put their rent up every year. So they haven't put their rent up, do you understand, for 3 years, for example, and all their costs are going up. And then also you've got, in other words, right, so that their profit margins are less and less and less.
Mm-hmm.
And then also where you've got renters where their rent hasn't gone up, and there are some. I mean, we've got some landlords and they said, no, we don't want to put our rent up year over year over year. And now all of a sudden, the expenses have gone up, and things have changed. And then all of a sudden, they want to put the rent up $200, $300. That was one of our clients that we had, and he said, no, I want to put my rent up $300. And in Texas, there's no laws that says that you can or you can't.
Well, the situation comes where usually there's time to gradually increase the rents. But again, it was one of those things where everyone kind of had to pivot because it was such a quick flip of things. And the tragic thing to me, I believe, is even when things start to loosen up a little bit, rents aren't going to go back down.
No, absolutely
That's
not.
why you need to buy a home.
Right, absolutely.
Don't rent.
Right.
Buy a freaking home.
There's an article we're going to talk about that. And here's the other part, you see. A lot of landlords, because the interest rates were low, what was they doing? They it was keeping their rent rates,
Right.
as competitive as they can.
Of course.
Now they've gone up, especially if they are on what they call an adjustable rate mortgage. Now the pressure's on.
Yeah.
But if you compare the interest rates and what the interest rate is of inflation with the properties, and I still think the inflation on the properties is still going to go up. Actually, there's an article that we're going to talk about later on in the program that basically says that the market is still going to increase, and I think it's still going to increase, especially in good old sunny South.
Well, I think what we find, of course, in Texas, because it's such a large region of the country, we're going to feel it different in different pockets. So, like my brother is living in Austin, which is Central Texas. They're going to feel it different than we feel it here in Houston. And San Antonio is going to feel it different than in Austin. In Dallas and Fort Worth, they're going to feel it different than in San Antonio. So it remains to be seen. We'll see what happens. But it's definitely going to happen. It is definitely going to happen. But I'm excited to see these interest rates making a shift in the other direction, because the bond market has been performing a bit more favorably. So that means that interest rates can start to move the opposite direction. Not that they're back to where they were, but they are looking a lot better than where they were. And what we've been watching is a 10-year Treasury, just to give everybody some background. And if we can get that thing down to 300, where it had been over 4 for a while, if we can get that thing down, closer to 3. He said 3.5 today. That's good for interest rates. So may sound like Greek to you, but that's what we look at for this thing. And of course, I think we'll probably see one other rate hike from Jerome Rome and the boys.
Was it December 5th? Is that December 5th?
That's really only to
that's the last one of the year, isn't it?
To further help with some things, but
and
I think we'll see a decline.
Is it rumored that it's going up another 0.5%? Or?
That's the rumor. We never really know yet, but that's not far.
But what was interesting was there was an interest rate hike yesterday, and then the stock market goes up.
Well, it's down today.
It's
down today.
Nasdaq's up on my chart at the moment.
Yeah, the
S&P's up, Dow's down, Nas is up.
Yeah, just a squeak. The S&P's up just a smidgen, not too much, but nevertheless, it's it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. It's been an interesting year already. I know for me.
Are you at the point where you feel you just want this year to be over and just to get on with next year, or are you at the point where you?
Man, I'm already into next year. You gotta be. You gotta look toward the hills where your help comes from. So
it's really screwed up, really. A lot of the stuff that's gone on and sort of, I feel it's really screwed up.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah,
it has been tough. So we're just we're looking toward the future, so we can kind of see how things will go, and get excited about it. Definitely getting excited about it. So.
Yeah, and they reckon that the 30-year mortgage rates are toppling to a 2-month low at the moment, so they're coming down slowly.
That's cute. 2-month low. Yeah. We just need to.
I've just pulled it up actually.
We just need to get folks excited about buying again, because waiting is not.
Yeah, because the answer. The average rate that a property increases over the last 10 years has been 16%.
Yeah, you're still looking in the 6s, mid to high sixes, getting into a home. Um, there are some folks out there touting, low sixes, high fives. Some of those guys are really, really taking a drink on those loans. But on average, you can anticipate, somewhere in the mid to high sixes.
Mm-hmm. So what we got second up? What's the second point that we were going to talk about today? So if you can pull up 5 economists of real estate pros on what will happen to the housing market next. These are economists.
We've kind of hit on that a little bit.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see.
Who is this?
It's interesting to see what the economists say about it.
They never know. Diana Orlick, she's wrong all the time.
Go down. Now, can you just show the picture a minute and then do the continue reading? Okay.
Let's see.
It's pretty interesting to what how they sort of take it. Continue reading. Can you go to that?
It's already loaded. Oh,
there you go. And just get a bit of, there you go. Okay, so basically it's 5 economists, real estate pros on what will happen in the next housing market, and then just scroll down.
Oh, look, there's a guy's
And then you've got the housing market. Just go down. There you go. Prediction 1: prices could come down in some markets. Okay.
Oh, now, that's vague.
What's that?
That's vague.
Well, here's the deal. All right. What markets do you think they'd come down in? I think because I've got an idea which I would say some markets would come down in.
Okay. Well, who would you
New York,
think?
New Jersey.
Those that have been inflated a bit.
Yeah, California. Them some of the prices that I think will. Kim Kardashian's got to have something with that $200,000
yeah.
which is just taken from Kay, or Key, whatever they call him. And they've seen a bit of a soft demand in October and November. Is Zillow still around?
Who?
Zillow? I'm only joking.
I think they are. I was foolish and got in that bucket, but it's all good.
Yeah. Prediction number 2. Major price drops are unlikely. Now, isn't that funny? Because you get so much BS on YouTube and all the other platforms where they say, "Hold on a minute, you hold on. The deals are going to be out there.
Well,
it's going to be a cash sale."
Well, everyone's hoping that the bottom's going to fall out, and I just don't see that happening.
There's no way it's going to happen. Absolutely,
the things are different than what they were
the quality
previously.
Yeah.
It's just it's so much tougher to get a mortgage. It's not the same. The penalties are heftier, so people just weren't. Not saying the stuff doesn't happen, but people just aren't so apt to get into bed to get some fraud thing going.
One of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up was, to me, this is what a buyer needs to read. These 5 predictions, because look, buyer prediction 2, all right. Major price drops are unlikely. That's number 2. Look what number 3 is. Prices will plateau in most areas, so they're not going to go down.
Oh no,
they're going to plateau. But look at number 4. Buyers should expect fewer listings.
Yep.
Economists are basically saying that there's going to be fewer listings out there because what's going to happen is, if the interest rates, they might have got a lower interest rate on their current mortgage than what they've got.
Well, folks aren't motivated to sell.
Right.
Once the market, cools off a bit and things are plateauing, why would I sell this house? There's nothing really wrong with it.
Right.
I could just kind of sit here and, not, because where am I going to find something equal to or greater than what I have?
Right.
So
absolutely.
That's kind of where everyone sits.
And then prediction 6 is the market is rebalancing, and that is the case.
It is. And I won't say it's a bad thing, because I think there's been way too many people getting into this business part-time, not really committed, looking to make a quick buck. And it kind of got saturated with people that weren't really servicing the community the way that they needed to be.
Yeah.
And I think the miseducation of consumers added to a lot of the slowdown. And we just got to be diligent in putting the information out there and making sure that they understand. Don't wait. Rent's going up.
Yeah.
We know
And
rent's going
rents
up.
are not going down.
They're not going to go back down.
Even now, as a landlord, I'm looking at what my rents are going up to because my expenses have gone
Right.
up on my condominiums. My homeowners association fees have gone up.
If gas drops to 50 cents a gallon, your rent will be the same. It won't change. It won't change. At least with a mortgage, you know what it's going to be. You're going to pay that payment, and man, eventually it'll be gone.
Number 7, which I find interesting, home purchase timelines could accelerate as a result of the better than expected inflation reading from mid-November. So home purchase timelines, they could start to, see a bit more people out there buying homes. So what's your comments on that, James?
Well,
Here we are.
It's possible.
You've got our information under the contact us now.
But we're beyond mid-November, so we already kind of know where things are and kind of what we're walking into. I just know that it's going to. I'll be as vague as they were to begin. Something's going to happen. Now, whether you'll be on the good side of it
Now
or
we
the worst
both
side
think,
of
because
it.
we spoke with this, sort of off air. We've said we feel it'll start to look on the good side in January, don't we?
Yeah,
It'll start to move in there,
I think it's going to start the end of this month. We'll start to see some shift.
which is what it says there.
Yeah, we'll start to see some shift, and hopefully going into this first quarter for next year, we'll see a continued push towards it kind of shifting a little bit. So
yeah,
I'm okay with fewer listings as long as I'm getting some of those loans. So because fewer listings mean fewer realtors, and we're not dealing with a bunch of folks that are just kicking tires trying to sell one house or two per year.
yeah. And
Get out of the way.
And there needs to be. I always say to all the listeners out there, get yourself a real estate agent, but get yourself a good one.
Yeah.
Do some research.
And it's not hard to do the research. It
Because
isn't.
It really isn't, because there's some things that we hear aren't really, good things. So find yourself a good, reputable company. I always say to people, start there. Start with a reputable company.
Absolutely.
And even if you have to call the broker up, ask the broker to recommend, a decent agent for you. Okay.
Yeah. Because if you find someone good, they'll be more interested in what's best for you
Yeah.
than what's best for them.
And negotiation is the most important part of this.
It's very.
And an agent, if they do it properly, can negotiate so much more than any buyer can themselves.
They can. Because most buyers really don't even know what to ask for.
You know.
Or they go and ask for too much. It's ridiculous. House is listed for $280. Yeah, we're gonna do it for $175. Really? No, you're insulting these people by offering them $105,000 less than what
But saying that,
it's listed.
as an agent, if my client wanted me to offer 105,
Oh, of course.
I'd offer the one.
You got to do it. You got to do the 175 because that's what they want you to do.
And then, of course, I'd ask the seller, well, okay, you don't laugh at it, but,
This is what they want to be offered.
can you respect my buyer? And
Yeah.
basically, even, I'd respect that you respect I'd hope that you'd respect my buyer by, if you don't like the offer,
Counter.
give us a counter.
Yeah. There will definitely be a counter. There'll either be a counter.
But even the way the agent says that to the seller's agent makes a difference.
Oh, it definitely does. It definitely does.
Because there's some agents just, it's like, get a life.
But I found many times that folks don't want to have those crucial conversations with their customer. And it's important to us as professionals that, like you said, we're going to do what you ask us to do. But let me advise you, they may not take us seriously
And
if
it's
we
the
offer
the
this
details that
number.
matter. And it's-
We've got to advise our people. I've had to have that conversation with folks I had a lady, she wanted to buy a $700,000 home, but she wanted her payment to be $2,400, and I was like, ma'am,
$2,400.
yeah, for
I'll take 6 grand.
700,000. I said, ma'am, that's not mathematically possible for that to happen.
Why not?
But here's the crazy thing.
I want 6.
Here's the crazy thing. The agent felt like he couldn't tell her that. Well, you know, I kind of told her, you know, I said, man, listen, I'm going to have to tell her because that's just not possible. Unless she's going to put down half of the doggone mortgage. And, you know, most of the time they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. So, yeah. Anywho, we are here to help you make those decisions properly. What else we got?
We got number 3.
Well,
How prices are expected to
Oh, we hit that. We hit that.
We've already hit that one. You know, we do expect.
Actually, we hit both of those bad boys.
Yeah.
without even knowing it.
Yeah.
We did. We're clairvoyant or something.
Mortgage
So
rate.
let me bring this up because I saw this the other day. Speaking of rents and rentals and properties and such, you know, Jeff Bezos is in this real estate thing where he's allowing you to kind of do like a group share investment type deal called Arrived Homes, which I thought was interesting. That is something that he's taken part in. So you could basically crowdfund these properties or these monies and put it in. I think you get anywhere between 4.5 to 12% return on your investment or something like that. It's what he's touting, of course. But you can invest with as little as $100 in this thing, man. And I thought that was crazy. You know, they're buying it as a group and they're turning them into rental properties, and you can get money from it. Here's where I had a problem with it, though. What communities are you going into and buying all these properties in and turning them into rental properties? Because I would say, if I were living in a community and we had some huge investor coming in and trying to buy this big sector of homes just to turn them into rental properties, I would have a problem with that. I would have a problem with some corporation doing that. And I know that that's happened in some communities around here. And I don't think it ends up going well for the community because those people aren't as invested in the properties as an actual homeowner. No knock on any renters. Don't take it that way, because I was there too. But that's my thought with it. I think it could be detrimental to some of the areas by them going in and scooping up a lot of these
But
properties.
is he buying the houses as individual houses, or is he buying them as?
So they don't go in and talk about exactly how they're
Because
buying
I'm
it.
just looking at the site now, and it basically has got pictures of
Different properties,
different
right?
properties, but it hasn't
Yeah.
got different areas.
Yeah. So basically, what you're doing is, let's say the three of us, we put in, you know, $1,000 each. That's $3,000 that they can go and use to buy a property, and from that, they give us a percentage of, I guess, whatever the rent is going to be on that particular property once they purchase it. I don't know that we have any say in which properties they are, but I think we have opportunities to buy
Some
shares.
of these, I mean, some of these, yes.
We buy shares in the
Some of these are
properties.
holiday rentals. Some of these are long-term.
Yes,
rentals.
they're all over. They're all over. So I think you can go through the list and just kind of see if there's ones, you know, you want to participate in. And like they got one on here, Almost Gone, the Luna. The purchase price is $215. Monthly rent is $16.95. 156 investors. Interest rates 4 and 5/8. Whole period is 5 to 7 years. I don't know what 150 people splitting $1,600 in rent. I mean, how much money could you really be getting? I don't know. I haven't done a ton of research in it, but it's a new idea. And old
And who
Jeffrey,
makes the decision to sell it?
what's that?
If they ever want to sell it, who makes the term to sell
Right,
it?
right. Who makes the terms and who
Can you
agrees to
get
that
your?
price?
I mean, can you get your money out of the deal if you want to? Is there a process for that?
I don't know.
Have you seen any in Texas? I can't see any in Texas.
I have not seen any in Texas.
What, does he not like Texas or something?
Who knows, man? As
He
far as
doesn't
I'm
like-
concerned.
He doesn't like our great winters.
But you know, if Jeffrey Preston Bezos is in it,
Is that his
he's
middle
making
name,
money.
Preston?
Yeah, that's his kid's name, so that's the only reason I know that. Yes, sir.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
So do we want to go to number 4 now?
No,
Oh, we talked about number 4 a little
we're
bit.
good. I think we're good. 'Cause
Yeah.
we spoke. We sort of put them all together.
Yes.
We spoke about that. But it's nice to have you back, James.
Oh yeah, man. I'm here. We'll be here
I
for
know
a
you sort
spell.
of enjoyed your turkey last week,
I did.
and it's nice to get Everett back. He enjoyed
Absolutely.
his trip to Universal.
Maybe I'd like to take pictures. I don't know.
Yeah.
So with everybody with that, I guess it's another week from
The Texas Real Estate Show.
Texas Real Estate Show. We look forward to seeing you next week. If you have any comments, questions, please reach out. If you're looking for a loan, go to
Our description down in below. Down in
Mr.
the
James
description
Lee.
below,
Mr.
yeah.
James Lee.
Lee Group Loans. We
There
can
we
get you
go.
squared away
You
for
can
sure.
go find him. And he's got some good rates for you, so go give him a call. If you have anything real estate related, as in you want to become an agent, change your career, or you're looking to buy, sell, you need property management in the Houston area. We do HOA management as well. Reach out and give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you. Take care and have a good week.